you're seeing a lot of these big hitting, big swinging promises that he largely made on the campaign trail, and it's really happening. And I think it's impressing and kind of taking a lot of people aback a little bit. This was a very internationally focused interview. He's wanting to enact tariffs on China, but again, he says that he's open to speaking with Xi Jinping, and says that, he didn't say he was quite friends with Xi Jinping during his first administration, but says that they were close to friends. And we'll see how that relationship develops over these coming months and years.
Mm. He also was talking about, someone that he met during his last term in office, the North Korean leader Kim Jong Un, saying he's a smart guy. What else did he say?
Yeah, said he would be willing to meet with him again. Says he's going to reach out. That's notably something that he did not say or would not say about Moscow and Vladimir Putin. Would not say whether or not he had spoken with Vladimir Putin yet, or if he intended to. But again, will do so with Kim Jong Un.
Mm. He's also talking about releasing unclassified documents on 3 significant assassinations in the US. Just remind us what he said.
Yeah, of course. So he is within the next 15 days, the government has to come up with a plan to declassify the investigations into John F. Kennedy Jr., one of our presidents, and JFK's brother, and Martin Luther King Jr. as well. So these are 3 massive assassinations in the 1960s that have really captivated conspiracy theorists for decades now. And Trump is going to declassify this. It's previously been redacted. Some of the documents have been redacted to protect CIA measures and investigation pieces and theories. But I mean, largely, this has just been a big question mark, I think, in a lot of Americans' minds. I don't think this is going to reveal anything crazy, but it's an example, I think, of Trump giving the people what they want,
Mm.
sort of an attitude about, he is very much this populist president, and this is something that is absolutely within his power as president.
Well, I wanted to ask you that if he's able to do it, because by the very nature of it being redacted, it is presumably regarded by government as being sensitive information. So he would be able to do that. And I'm just thinking, in light of something else we're going to talk about, a judge stepping in over his want to change birthright citizenship. There have been legal challenges already to some of the things Trump wants to do. Is this likely to be challenged over releasing these documents?
So, releasing the documents actually will fall under presidential authority. There's not a structure that comes above the president when it comes to that. That changes, though, when we start to talk about constitutional authorities. And that's why the case is being challenged in federal court. Trump's order to try to revoke birthright citizenship for immigrants who are born in this country. Or I guess not immigrants. They are children of illegal migrants in the United States. He wants to revoke their birthright citizenship. But the problem there is that it is in the Constitution of the United States that right is given to anyone born within our borders. So I don't think he's going to be able to enact that ultimately.
Mm. It's really interesting that this first judge has stepped up, obviously being challenged in several states, with this first judge stepping up and kind of challenging Donald Trump. And we know that Donald Trump doesn't really like to be challenged. More executive orders that he's signed as well. I was particularly interested in pardoning some anti-abortion activists as well overnight.
Yes, some anti-abortion activists he's pardoned. He's obviously pardoned the people who took place in the January 6th riots as well. You're seeing a lot of these big hitting, big swinging promises that he largely made on the campaign trail, and it's really happening. And I think it's impressing and kind of taking a lot of people aback a little bit that he is making so much progress so fast. I mean, we're on day 3, 4 of this this presidency, and he's already just knocking them out. I mean, the fact that he even made the progress of pressing Israel into a ceasefire before he became president, even. It put us on a footing of, oh wow, okay, Trump's in town. there's going to be a lot of changes, and really the world is watching.
And finally, before I let you go, Caitlin, I understand that President Trump is on his way to LA. He's going to head to the areas where, well, there were those horrendous wildfires, but more have broken out as well in the last day or so.
Yes, it's just been awful for the people in California. So many people have lost their lives and their homes, and haven't even had insurance to be able to cover their losses. So the president is going to make that trip and see some of the damages and devastation. I imagine we'll see FEMA relief and some resources going in that direction as well. This has been a tragedy, and it's certainly hit hard. The people of California, and it's certainly there's some deeply embedded politics there as well.
Our country will soon be stronger, wealthier, and more united than ever before, and the entire planet will be more peaceful and prosperous as a result of this incredible momentum and what we're doing and going to do. My administration is acting with unprecedented speed to fix the disasters we've inherited from a totally inept group of people and to solve every single crisis facing our country. This begins with confronting the economic chaos caused by the failed policies of the last administration. Over the past 4 years, our government racked up $8 trillion in wasteful deficit spending and inflicted nation-wrecking energy restrictions, crippling regulations, and hidden taxes like never before. The result is the worst inflation crisis in modern history and sky-high interest rates for our citizens and even throughout the world. Food prices and the price of almost every other thing known to mankind went through the roof. President Biden totally lost control of what was going on in our country, but in particular with our high inflation economy and at our border. The inflation rate we are inheriting remains 50% higher than the historic target. It was the highest inflation probably in the history of our country. That's why from the moment I took office, I've taken rapid action to reverse each and every one of these radical left policies that created this calamity, in particular with immigration, crime, and inflation. I declared a national energy emergency, and it's so important, national energy emergency to unlock the liquid gold under our feet and pave the way for rapid approvals of new energy infrastructure. The United States has the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we're going to use it. Not only will this reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services, it'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. To further unleash our economy, our majorities in the House and Senate, which we also took along with the presidency, are going to pass the largest tax cut in American history, including massive tax cuts for workers and family, and big tax cuts for domestic producers and manufacturers. And we're working with the Democrats on getting an extension of the original Trump tax cuts, as you probably know, by just reading any paper. My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt. Under the Trump administration, there will be no better place on earth to create jobs, build factories, or grow a company than right here in the good old USA.
You've had the busiest 4 days